Ladies and gentlemen, there is a force inside you waiting to be unleashed, a power that transforms uncertainty into assurance, silence into eloquence, and fear into fearless expression. This force is confidence, and when paired with the ability to communicate effectively, it becomes an unstoppable force of influence. Yet, so many walk through life muted by doubt, shackled by the fear of judgment, and paralyzed by the thought of speaking up. But here's the truth. Confidence is not a birthright, it is a skill. Communication is not a gift for the chosen few. It is a tool sharpened by practice. When you master these two, doors will open where there were once only walls, and opportunities will chase you instead of you chasing them. The first transformation begins within. Thoughts shape reality. What you believe about yourself dictates how you present yourself. The words you speak internally will manifest externally. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, your posture, tone, and presence will reflect it. But the moment you reprogram your inner dialogue, when you declare with conviction, I have a voice and my voice matters, the world will begin to listen. The second shift is in the power of knowledge. You can never speak with authority about what you do not understand. Ignorance breeds insecurity. The most confident communicators are those who commit themselves to continuous learning. If you desire to speak with power, then immerse yourself in knowledge. Read, listen, observe, and engage. When your mind is rich, your words will carry weight. The third key is the art of delivery. Words alone do not persuade, presence does. Your body speaks before your mouth does. Stand tall, look people in the eye, and let your tone resonate with conviction. Speak not merely to inform, but to transform. A whisper with certainty is more powerful than a shout filled with doubt. Learn to control your voice. Use pauses to command attention, and let your passion fuel your words. And finally, the secret weapon, practice. No great speaker was born on stage. The most eloquent voices were once shaky. The most confident faces once filled with fear. But through consistent practice, the timid become bold and the silent find their sound. Speak at every opportunity. Talk to the mirror. Record yourself. Engage in conversations. Every attempt is a step toward mastery. Confidence and communication are not luxuries. They are necessities. They determine who rises and who remains unseen. The world is filled with brilliant minds trapped in silence because they lack the courage to speak. But that will not be your story. Your voice is powerful, your message is necessary, and the time to unleash it is now. Speak with certainty, stand with authority, and let the world hear the power within you. Confidence starts within. Your thoughts shape your reality. The way you see and speak to yourself internally determines how you present yourself to the world. Reprogram your inner dialogue with affirmations of strength and self-worth. Knowledge is power. Insecurity stems from ignorance. The more you learn, the more confidently you can speak. Continuous learning builds authority, credibility, and the ability to communicate effectively. Master the art of delivery. Presence is just as important as words. Posture, eye contact, tone, and controlled pauses make a message more compelling than volume alone. Practice builds mastery. No great speaker was born on stage. Consistent practice, whether through self-recording, mirror rehearsals, or engaging in conversations, turns fear into fluency. Speak to transform, not just inform. The most powerful communicators don't just share facts, they inspire change. Let your passion and conviction drive your words to impact and influence others. Your voice matters. Use it now. Many remain unseen because they fear speaking up. The world needs your voice, your message, and your confidence. The time to step forward is now. At the heart of every confident communicator lies a powerful truth. Confidence is not a trait you are born with. It is a skill you develop. The foundation of this skill begins with your thoughts. how you think about yourself, how you view your abilities, and how you speak to yourself on the inside shapes everything about how you present yourself to the world. If you constantly tell yourself you are inadequate or unworthy, your external actions will reflect that mindset. On the other hand, when you shift your inner dialogue, when you choose to speak to yourself with affirmation, encouragement, and belief, your confidence begins to grow. Many people struggle with self-doubt because they have allowed negative thoughts to dominate their minds. They question their value, their abilities, and their worth, often believing that their weaknesses define them. But this is a lie. Your thoughts are powerful, and when you consciously choose to change the narrative you tell yourself, you begin to reshape the reality you live in. Every thought you allow to persist forms a belief, and every belief shapes your actions. If you tell yourself, I am capable, I have something valuable to offer, or my voice matters, your confidence will start to shift. The key to building unshakable confidence lies in controlling your inner dialogue. Every time self-doubt or negative thoughts arise, challenge them. Replace those thoughts with empowering beliefs that affirm your worth and ability. By intentionally reprogramming your thoughts, you shift your perspective from one of limitation to one of possibility. You begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, and able to accomplish great things. This change in mindset will begin to reflect in your actions. When you believe in your value, you stand taller, speak more clearly, and interact with others in a way that commands respect. People will notice your confidence, and their perception of you will change. The confidence you cultivate on the inside will shine through in your posture, your tone of voice, and the way you carry yourself. You will no longer shy away from opportunities, but instead you will embrace them with certainty and a belief in your ability to succeed. But it's important to remember that confidence doesn't come instantly. It is built over time through consistent effort. Each time you replace negative thoughts with empowering beliefs, you take another step toward mastering confidence. Each time you face a fear or speak in front of others, you grow stronger. Confidence is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs to be exercised to become stronger and more resilient. So to truly boost your confidence, start with your thoughts. Begin to reframe your internal dialogue and speak to yourself with encouragement, love, and belief. The more you affirm your worth, the more your confidence will grow, and the more you will begin to see the world open up to you. Confidence is not a gift, it is a choice. And that choice starts with how you choose to think about yourself. The foundation of effective communication rests heavily on one key element: knowledge. When you understand a subject deeply, your ability to communicate it clearly and confidently is enhanced. Confidence in communication doesn't stem from speaking loudly or forcefully. It comes from having a solid understanding of the topic at hand. When you are knowledgeable, you can answer questions, elaborate on points, and provide thoughtful insights without hesitation. This depth of understanding eliminates the need for guesswork, giving you the confidence to speak with authority. One of the most common reasons people struggle with self-confidence when speaking is because they feel unprepared. Whether it's a meeting, a public speech, or a casual conversation, uncertainty about a topic can cause you to second-guess yourself. This internal lack of confidence often manifests as hesitations, filler words like and or an overly cautious approach to speaking. But when you are truly informed about a subject, those hesitations vanish. The more you know, the more naturally your words flow, because you don't have to worry about stumbling through facts or making up information. Knowledge enables clarity. When you are clear about what you are talking about, your communication becomes focused and direct. People understand you more easily and your message becomes more persuasive. You gain the ability to simplify complex ideas, break them down into understandable pieces, and ensure that your audience grasps the key points. A lack of knowledge, on the other hand, can lead to confusion, mixed signals, and a lack of trust from your audience. They may sense your uncertainty, and that can undermine the message you are trying to convey. One of the most important aspects of knowledge and communication is the ability to engage with the topic from multiple angles. It's not enough to merely memorize facts or figures. True mastery of a subject comes from understanding its broader implications, connections to other concepts, and the various perspectives surrounding it. This deeper level of understanding allows you to be flexible in your communication. It gives you the ability to respond to unexpected questions, redirect conversations, and adjust your delivery based on the audience's needs. The more you educate yourself on any subject, the more confident you become in discussing it. This is why continuous learning is essential for personal and professional growth. By consistently seeking knowledge, you expand your ability to communicate not only with confidence, but also with expertise. The more information you gather, the more authoritative and credible you appear when you speak. So confidence in communication is not about memorizing speeches or reciting rehearsed lines. It is about mastering the material and being secure in your understanding of it. When you know what you are talking about, you don't need to worry about how you come across, because your knowledge will carry you through. The next time you face an opportunity to speak, approach it with the confidence that comes from knowing your subject inside and out. This commitment to learning and preparation will make you a more powerful and effective communicator. Effective communication is not only about the content of your message, but also how you present it. The way you deliver your words plays a significant role in how your message is received. If your delivery lacks confidence or clarity, even the most well-prepared speech or conversation can fail to have the desired impact. Confident and intentional delivery is what turns simple words into powerful messages that resonate with your audience. The first element of delivery is body language. Your posture, facial expressions, and gestures all contribute to the message you're conveying. Imagine speaking to a group of people while hunched over, avoiding eye contact, and speaking softly. Even if your words are meaningful, your audience may struggle to connect with you or take your message seriously. On the other hand, standing tall with your shoulders back, making eye contact, and using purposeful hand gestures sends a signal of confidence and authority. Your body language reinforces your words, ensuring that your message is not only heard, but also felt. Tone and voice modulation are equally important. The way you say something is just as impactful as what you say. A monotonous voice can make even the most compelling ideas sound dull, while a voice that fluctuates in pitch and volume captures attention and keeps your audience engaged. Speaking too quickly might make you sound nervous, while speaking too slowly can cause your audience to lose interest. A steady, clear, and well-paced voice with appropriate pauses creates an environment of calm and authority. This allows your listeners to absorb your message more effectively. Pauses can be especially powerful in communication. A well-timed pause after a key point not only gives the audience time to reflect on what you've said, but it also builds anticipation for what comes next. Pausing allows you to gather your thoughts and ensures that your message is delivered with impact. When used correctly, silence becomes a tool for emphasis. Eye contact is another powerful tool in your delivery. It establishes a connection between you and your audience. When you make eye contact, you show that you are engaged, present, and genuinely interested in the conversation. It also conveys trustworthiness and sincerity. Avoiding eye contact, on the other hand, can make you seem disconnected or insecure. Whether you're speaking to one person or a group, engaging them through eye contact creates an unspoken bond that reinforces the message you are sharing. Confidence in delivery is also about embracing vulnerability. Many people fear being judged, so they hide behind their words or hold back from expressing themselves fully. But real confidence comes from being comfortable with who you are, even if that means making mistakes or showing emotion. When you embrace the vulnerability of speaking with authenticity, your message becomes more relatable and impactful. People are drawn to genuine speakers who speak from the heart. In short, the delivery of your message plays a critical role in how it is received. When you communicate with confidence, clarity, and intention through your body language, tone, and authentic self, your message becomes far more powerful and memorable. Confidence in delivery does not mean being flawless, but rather being fully present, engaged, and true to yourself. Mastering any skill, including communication, requires deliberate, consistent practice. It's not enough to understand the theory behind effective communication or to know what you should be doing. You must put those concepts into action consistently. Confidence in communication doesn't emerge overnight, and no one becomes an expert just by thinking about it. The more you practice, the more natural and impactful your communication will become. Each opportunity you have to speak is an opportunity to improve. And over time, this builds the confidence necessary to communicate with ease and authority. The first step in this process is simply to start. If you wait for the perfect moment to practice or for the ideal set of circumstances, you may never find it. The best way to get better at communicating is by taking every chance you get to practice. Whether it's a casual conversation with a friend, a presentation at work, or a speech to a group, each situation is a learning opportunity. The more you speak and engage with others, the more you will learn about your strengths and areas for improvement. Repetition is key to building confidence. Think about any skill you've ever learned, from riding a bike to playing an instrument. You weren't perfect the first time, but the more you practiced, the more skilled you became. Communication works the same way. Every time you speak, you get more comfortable with your voice, your presence, and your ability to convey your message. With time, you'll develop a natural rhythm and flow in your speech. You'll know what works for you and what doesn't. This is why practice is so important. Not only does it help you refine your delivery, but it also helps you discover your unique communication style. One of the most effective ways to practice is by putting yourself in new or challenging situations. You can start by speaking in front of a mirror to build awareness of your body language and tone. Then challenge yourself by participating in more high-pressure environments. These situations force you to think on your feet, adjust your delivery in real time, and become more adaptable in how you communicate. Another powerful method is recording yourself. Whether it's through audio or video, recording your practice sessions allows you to see and hear your communication from an outsider's perspective. This gives you a chance to notice nuances in your tone, pacing, and body language that you may not have been aware of in the moment. Reviewing your recordings helps you identify areas where you can improve and track your progress over time. Seeking feedback from others is another critical aspect of practicing communication. Constructive criticism from trusted peers can provide valuable insights into how you come across to others. They can highlight things you might have missed, such as speaking too quickly, too softly, or failing to make eye contact. Feedback helps you pinpoint areas for growth and gives you actionable steps to improve. Ultimately, the more you practice, the more confident you will become. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are as a communicator and trusting that with every effort you are getting better. As you practice, you become more skilled, more assured, and more able to make a lasting impact with your words. So, take every opportunity to practice and watch as your communication transforms into a tool of influence, connection, and impact. When we communicate, we often focus on the mechanics, the words, the delivery, the body language. But the most effective communicators understand that to truly make an impact, you must communicate with purpose. Every message you share should not only be informative, but transformative. Speaking with purpose means speaking with intent, clarity, and a deep desire to inspire change or provoke thought. Your message must come from a place of genuine passion and should be aimed at creating a connection, shifting perspectives, or encouraging action. Purposeful communication is about more than just delivering facts. It's about making the audience feel something, challenging their thinking, or empowering them to take action. When you communicate with purpose, every word carries weight. You are not merely filling space with empty language, but creating a meaningful exchange that has the potential to alter the listener's outlook. It's about ensuring that your message is not just heard, but felt. One key aspect of speaking with purpose is knowing why you are communicating in the first place. Are you trying to inform, persuade, inspire, or entertain? Knowing the why behind your communication allows you to tailor your message in a way that aligns with your goals. For instance, if your goal is to inspire, you might focus on sharing personal stories or highlighting struggles that led to success. If your goal is to persuade, you would present logical arguments supported by evidence that encourage your audience to adopt your perspective. Having a clear sense of purpose shapes your approach and ensures that your communication is effective. Purpose also stems from a deep understanding of your audience. When you speak with purpose, you consider the needs, desires, and perspectives of the people you are communicating with. What are their concerns? What motivates them? What do they care about? By tailoring your message to your audience, you increase the chances that your message will resonate with them. Purposeful communication is not about forcing your message onto others. It's about crafting it in a way that speaks directly to their hearts and minds. Passion is another key ingredient in purposeful communication. Passion is contagious. It lights up your message and brings it to life. When you speak about something you care deeply about, that enthusiasm transfers to your listeners. Passion helps to convey authenticity, which builds trust and credibility. It shows that you believe in what you're saying and that you're not just going through the motions. The energy behind passionate communication engages the audience, making them more likely to listen, engage, and take action. Finally, communicating with purpose also means ensuring that your words align with your actions. Authenticity is key. People can tell when you are speaking just for the sake of speaking, or when your message is truly aligned with your values and beliefs. When your communication is aligned with your actions, it reinforces trust and strengthens your message. In conclusion, speaking with purpose is about going beyond words. It's about having a clear reason for communicating, understanding your audience, speaking with passion, and ensuring your message is aligned with your true beliefs. Purposeful communication is powerful because it doesn't just share information, it moves people, changes minds, and inspires action. When you speak with purpose, you don't just communicate, you leave a lasting impression. The ability to speak confidently and effectively is not just about skill, it's about mindset. Too often people hold back their voices because they are paralyzed by fear or self-doubt. They wait for the perfect moment, the ideal circumstances, or the assurance that they're good enough before they begin speaking up. But the reality is that the world doesn't need perfect communicators. It needs those who are willing to speak their truth, even in the face of fear. Confidence in communication is not about being flawless or knowing everything. It's about having the courage to use your voice, to step up and share your message even when you're uncertain. One of the most powerful ways to build confidence is by embracing vulnerability. When you speak with authenticity and openness, you disarm the audience and build a stronger connection. People are more likely to listen to you when they sense that you are being real with them. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It takes courage to speak openly, to share your fears, your challenges, and your lessons learned. By doing so, you allow others to see the real you. And this fosters trust and engagement. When you embrace vulnerability, you stop worrying about being judged or being perfect, and instead you focus on sharing your message and making an impact. Confidence also comes from letting go of the fear of failure. Many people hold back because they are afraid of making mistakes, being criticized, or not performing perfectly. But the truth is, mistakes are a part of growth. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, improve, and become better. The fear of failure often holds people back from taking the first step, but the more you embrace it, the more you free yourself to take risks, try new things, and communicate with authenticity. Remember, perfection is not the goal, impact is. Confidence grows when you realize that you don't need to have everything figured out to speak up and make a difference. Another critical aspect of building communication confidence is understanding that your voice matters. Many people underestimate the power of their words. They believe that they don't have anything important to say, or that their thoughts and opinions aren't valuable, but every voice has a purpose. Every individual has experiences, insights, and perspectives that are worth sharing. When you realize the importance of your voice, you can stop doubting yourself and stop communicating with intention. Your message matters and the world needs to hear it. The final piece of the puzzle is consistency. Confidence is built through repetition and practice. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become with using your voice. Each opportunity to communicate, no matter how small, strengthens your confidence muscle. It's through these repeated actions that you build the habit of speaking with assurance, clarity, and conviction. The more you show up and speak, the more your self-doubt fades, and the more you step into your full potential as a communicator. In the end, confidence in communication is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about choosing to speak despite your fears, embracing your vulnerability, letting go of perfection, and consistently showing up. Your voice is powerful, and by using it with courage and authenticity, you can make a lasting impact. In conclusion, boosting your confidence and communication skills is not about reaching a final destination. It's about embarking on a continuous journey of growth, practice, and self-awareness. By developing the right mindset, nurturing self-belief, and shifting your inner dialogue, you can begin to see yourself as capable and worthy of speaking your truth. With deep knowledge of your subject, you are empowered to communicate clearly and confidently, while purposeful delivery ensures that your words resonate with those who hear them. Confidence grows through consistent practice, as every opportunity to speak helps refine your abilities and build trust in your message. Embracing vulnerability and letting go of the fear of failure enables you to communicate authentically, while understanding the value of your voice ensures that your message is impactful and worth sharing. As you continue on this path of improvement, remember that communication is a tool for connection, influence, and positive change. And every step you take brings you closer to becoming the powerful, confident communicator you were always meant to be.